Where police are reporting that a woman's body was found on the west side shore of the West River.
The dramatic rescue of 4 missing divers off the coast of the Carolinas. They were spotted and pulled to safety.
My ribs were hurting very badly. It was difficult to breathe.
Dramatic avalanche rescue in Switzerland. 2 women buried. They frantically try to dig them out.
A 4-year-old girl has been rescued by a passing ferry in Greece after being swept out to sea on a blow-up unicorn.
Disappearing into the depths or losing your way on dense heights can be a daunting aspect of any adventure. Thanks to technology, or rather an eagle's eye that searches and rescues the lost souls, this fear is mitigated. So, get ready to witness the story of a girl who emerged during her research and left everyone shocked. They had 3 minutes to complete the rescue mission, just like a movie scene, only this was a horrifying reality. It happened after a plane crash-landed in water and miraculously survived the terrifying plunge. The clock was ticking and time was short. With the speed of light, rescuers entered the plane and safely rescued 40 people right before the plane sank. Once they were on the rescue ships and heading to the shore, everyone realized how grave the situation was, and new words couldn't thank the rescuers enough.
They got everybody. Over 40 people were rescued from the crash.
Migrant found in ocean. Turkish Coast Guard spotted a boat in distress during their daily search and found a migrant clinging to the bow of the capsized ship. At any moment, the boat could have sunk into the endless ocean, taking the man with it. All praises to the rescuers who immediately began the mission. One officer jumped from the helicopter with safety belts and landed in the water. Facing strong waves was surely the test of his long and hard training. He asked the stranded man to jump, which he did, and the officer safely hoisted him and brought him out of the unforgiving water. Helicopter rescued family. A family was enjoying a pleasant day at sea, completely unaware that it would soon turn into a nightmare. Their ship broke in the middle of the endless water. All they could do was wait for help and hope their life jackets did their work. A rescue chopper spotted them instantly, and a brave officer descended with the cable. He quickly pulled the woman and children out of their misery. After ensuring they were all safe, the officer returned to rescue the men. A heartwarming family reunion occurred on the chopper before they were transported to a hospital. Fight for life. A nightmare for individuals with claustrophobia. A group of divers was exploring an underwater cave when suddenly one of them disappeared. He had passed through a narrow hole and was trapped in another part of the cave. After 15 hours of unsuccessful search by his friends, they decided to call for rescue. An experienced diver arrived and began the mission. He focused on the large cracks in the cave that the diver's friends had overlooked. Skillfully passing through one of them, he found the missing diver, anxiously awaiting a miracle. The rescuer first ensured his safety and then both carefully made their way out of the cave. Upon reaching the surface, everyone thanked the diver for his selfless rescue. Stranded fisherman found. How challenging it would be for us if we didn't have rescuers on our planet. They are our saviors, as illustrated by the Chinese fishermen who were stranded in the vast ocean. Facing a massive storm, they couldn't recover from it. Fortunately, a rescue chopper was on patrol and noticed the distressed fishermen waving at them. Chopper instantly approached them and the officer descended to the boat. He hoisted them one by one and lifted them to the chopper. Rescuers provided them with food and blankets before carefully transporting them to a healthcare facility. Iron Man. A man became trapped under the debris of a mountain glacier that broke in India. Witnesses to this catastrophe immediately called for rescue. The rescue team arrived on the scene and began searching for the man. Although it was challenging to locate him, their consistent efforts made it possible. Once they were certain the man was under the glacier debris, one rescuer went into it and with bare hands pulled the man out. Fortunately, the man was not injured, and he paid a heartfelt tribute to his rescuers by hugging them. The Lone Man. A swimmer climbed rocks for fun, but soon regretted his decision, as he found himself trapped on the rocks and couldn't find a way out. His friends down below called for a rescue. The team on a chopper arrived swiftly and spotted the anxious man. The pilot carefully positioned the helicopter, and the rescuer with cables attached descended to the man. The smoother it seemed, the trickier it was, as the officer faced strong winds. However, he successfully made contact with the man and hoisted him. Once hoisted, the chopper pulled both to safety. After ensuring the well-being of the man, they released him on safe ground. Race against time.
On passera sur le réseau gendarmerie.
A woman was snowboarding, racing with her other friends, and was ahead. Due to the enormous snow, the crack was not visible,
On passera sur le réseau gendarmerie.
and she fell into the gap, ending up stuck there. She tried, but couldn't climb. Her friends had to call for rescue, which came in the blink of an eye. One officer with attached cables went into the split, located the woman, and checked her well-being. Luckily, she was not injured. The officer hoisted her and transmitted signals to the people above. Both came out safely. The woman received first aid, and after ensuring her safety, rescuers left for another mission. Paraglider stuck in tree. One minute you're flying high, the next you're in for a nosedive. A paraglider's joyride in Alabama ended abruptly after he got stuck in a tree. Rescuers got the call and hurriedly arrived on the scene. They quickly spotted the distressed paraglider and began the rescue mission. With the help of a cable, the officer came down near him. It was not a walk in the park, as the paraglider was swinging in the air, so the officers had to tread carefully. Despite all the odds, the officer managed to make contact with the man and hoisted him back to safety. Once rescued, the paraglider was relieved and started high-fiving, fist-bumping, and hugging everybody. Lost hiker found. Never let go of the rope that holds you. Or you might find yourself stuck on top like this hiker. He mistakenly let go of the rope from his hands and had no other way to climb up or down. Rescue was on the way, but until then, he needed to keep his calm and balance. For rescuers too, it was a bit challenging, as the chopper needed to stay high and the officer who descended was swinging due to the air pressure. Despite the obstacles, the brave officer meticulously came near to the man and got him hoisted, immediately pulling him up. The man thanked the rescuer for this second chance at life. Trapped pilot rescued. Being safe despite a crash landing is a rare occurrence only the luckiest experience. In this case, a helicopter crash landed and fell into a small river. The pilot was trapped and had no clue how to escape. Fortunately, a few people followed the falling helicopter and reached the scene. The brave individuals didn't care about their own safety and tried to lift it to rescue the pilot. Though it seemed impossible, their powerful hands and strong beliefs turned it into an unimaginable reality. They successfully rescued the distressed pilot from his plight and immediately transported him to the hospital. Stranded man found. If you've ever thought about giving up in life, watch this. A 69-year-old man was stranded in deep, frightening water for more than 22 hours. He had every reason to give up, but chose not to. He kept going with the water's flow and held a firm belief in his heart that he would be saved. The Coast Guards turned his belief into reality. When they spotted him shivering, they came close to him and with their bare hands, they pulled the old man out of the water and administered first aid. A trapped man. A man became lost in a crevice after an avalanche, disappearing within it. When his companions couldn't find him, a rescue team was called. When the team arrived, all they could hear were his muffled cries for help from the crevice. It was a race against the clock before he ran out of oxygen. The officers threw a long rope into the crevice and held tightly from their end. The trapped man ascended to the surface. Rescuers provided him with first aid and transported him to the hospital. After a thorough checkup, he was deemed fit and discharged. Snowboarder rescued.
Help me, please. Help me.
Snowboarding might seem like a fun idea until risks like these find you stuck in it, just like this snowboarder who was caught under an avalanche.
Help me, please. Help me.
When her friends couldn't find her, they called the rescue team, which quickly began the rescue mission. The deep snow would have made it challenging to locate her, but luckily she was wearing an avalanche airbag, which raised her a couple of feet and they quickly found her. They removed the snow from her face to ease her breathing.
Find my friend. Find my friend. Find my friend.
Since she was embedded in it, the rescuers needed specialized tools, but successfully pulled the woman out of her misery. Once rescued, they provided her with a blanket to warm up and transported her to the nearest hospital for treatment.
Thank you very much.
Floating lady rescued. Missing for 2 years, a lady was found unconscious, floating in the endless water. She fell from the bridge and found herself in the middle of the river. Fortunately, she was spotted by fishermen and was rescued immediately. Once on the boat, they gave her a warm blanket and food to eat. When asked about her whereabouts, she refused to go home, as she had been living separately from her family. Fishermen didn't force her to get more information and dropped her off the coast. She thanked the real heroes and embarked on her remaining journey of living alone. A daring rescue. Forget Tom Cruise. This is a real-life hero with genuine abilities, rescuing a man from Mount Everest.
Okay, what do you want? Look at that.
Such individuals are called Sherpas, possessing stunning physical abilities to assist mountaineers and rescue them if needed. This mountaineer became ill and needed immediate rescue. He was placed on a stretcher and carefully attached to the hoist. With that, he made a remarkable journey to the bottom by descending along the rope. Unbelievable, but true. He was successfully brought down by the Sherpa and shifted to the hospital, where he received treatment.
One rope here. One rope here. Here. You rope.
Teen rescued from tunnel.
Whoa.
A teen was playing on the beach and unknowingly trapped himself in a sand tunnel. His cries for help were heard by people who called the rescuers. The officers and the people around worked together to drill a way out for the lad. He was deeply stuck in the tunnel, which compelled rescuers to boost their speed as well. It was confirmed that any further delay could cost him his life. But before it happened, officers successfully cleared the way and pulled him out. He was given an oxygen cylinder on the spot and later transported to the healthcare facility. Eagle's Eye. A surge of water entered the heart of the city in Australia. Swift and ruthless, it spared nothing in its path. The emergency rescue teams came into action and were evacuating people to safety. During that, one police chopper spotted a distressed teenage girl clinging to a fallen tree. She was in desperate need of rescue. Officers turned the chopper toward her, and a brave officer with a long rope descended to her. After ensuring she was okay, the officer hoisted her to the chopper and brought both to safety. Teens in storm drain.
All right, go ahead and stand up. Stand up.
A total of 6 teens, aged between 13 and 15, were playing in the city's typically placid Sippo Creek, which had gotten slightly wild after a downpour. However, their fun afternoon ended quickly when one of the kids lost his footing and was swept away by the current.
Go ahead and stand up!
His friends attempted to rescue him by forming a human chain, but eventually they all found themselves trapped. The police received the rescue call and arrived on the scene. Time was crucial as water levels were increasing. With a rope tied to his belly, an officer entered the water. With utmost care and bravery, he rescued each child one by one. They were all safe and sound.
Oh, there's one more somewhere.
It's down at the end. We got him on the grate.
All right.
A poetic rescue. In an alpine lake, a woman hiker exhausted herself when hiking and began to lose consciousness, eventually collapsing on the ground. Her friends swiftly called for a rescue. Evacuating someone in dense forest and hilly terrains is always a challenge, but the brave officers arrived in no time.
I'm gonna step over you, ma'am, okay?
Though they had no clear spot for the chopper to land, that didn't matter much. They are trained to rescue without even touching down. The skilled officer descended with a stretcher, securely attaching it to the hoist and gently placed the woman on it. With a smooth uplift, they ascended with her, swiftly transported to a hospital where she received quality treatment and was discharged in good health. Man rescued from lake. A dog jumped into a frozen lake while on a walk with its owner. Without hesitation, the owner also jumped in to save his pet, as expected from a dog owner. Though he managed to pull the dog up, he found himself stuck. The man was clinging to a small frozen statue. Thankfully, he had managed to call the cops, who arrived in no time.
Got a little space. Come on, give me your hand.
Rescuers formed a human chain and gradually approached him. They held the owner's hands and were pulled up by the rescuers to the surface, successfully completing the rescue mission.
All right, give him the dog. Give him the dog right in the lap.
The lost cook. Turkish police divers decided to explore a capsized ship. As they were investigating the boat, they stumbled upon a survivor of the ship, the ship's cook, who was found trapped in an air pocket below deck. His eyes couldn't believe he was close to the rescuers. Just like that, the rescuers were surprised to see him, since they were expecting nobody to be there. They immediately placed an oxygen mask on his face and guided him to the way out. Once on the surface, he looked at the sky and took a sigh of relief. It was clear he had missed the outside world a lot. Heroic rescue. The more beautiful nature is, the more unforgiving it becomes. While camping in the woods, a man went for a swim in a nearby lake. However, he got trapped in the middle as the water level and flow increased. A rescue chopper spotted the man waving toward it. The pilot had to maintain the chopper's position precisely between steep rocks. A courageous officer descended 80 feet with a big basket and approached the stranded man and placed him in a basket. The chopper took a brief upward flight and released him in a safe area. Thankfully, the man was unharmed. After ensuring his safe release, the rescuers embarked on their journey for another mission.
On the ground. Okay, now.
Trapped explorer rescued. We start panicking when stuck in a lift, but think about this American caver who was trapped in a Turkish cave for a week, but didn't lose hope and remain calm. He was 3,000 feet beneath the Earth's surface. Special rescue teams were called from Europe, and they worked day and night to rescue him. Initially, they only managed to provide him with food, water, and medicines. They were drilling a new way in the cave to extract him. Once the drill was complete, rescuers attached themselves to the cables and descended. They put him on a stretcher and safely rescued him from his plight.
I'm on the surface safely. I'm still alive.
Mission impossible. The rescue mission was a lot better than all the Mission Impossible series. A worker was drilling a well in the sandy desert when he suddenly lost his balance and fell into a pit covered with sand. The narrow space was the main hurdle on his way out. After assessing the situation, rescuers called for backup. All the teams came into action and started drilling around the dune. They carefully removed the sand to avoid harming the old man. Time was running out, with the workers' oxygen gradually depleting. With consistent effort, they successfully cleared the way out for the trapped man. Once out, they immediately took him to the hospital. Real-life angels.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
A car crashed near the river, and while most family members came out immediately, one was left behind. A teenage girl desperately hoping for help. It was submerged, and the family started panicking. Just like angels, cops appeared on the scene when they were on a routine patrol.
She's 12?
The officer took no time in attaching himself to the safety belts and plunged into the river. The mother's cries could be heard by the officer in the water. Managing to enter the car, he safely rescued the girl, bringing her to the surface. Her parents embraced her tightly. The parents couldn't thank them enough. Dog saved from river. A dog was splashing in the Los Angeles River, desperately trying to reach the surface. Its small legs were not enough to escape the plight it found itself in. Fortunately, a police chopper on patrol spotted the struggling dog and quickly began a rescue mission. A heroic officer emerged from the chopper and approached the puppy. With gentle hands, he carefully lifted it and signaled the pilot to ascend. Once the dog was safely rescued, the officer provided it with a warm blanket and food. Later, they transported it to a veterinary hospital, where it received the proper treatment. The Dream Team.
Ma'am, is it fully engulfed?
Guys, this is why teamwork is the dream work. A car driver crashed into the woods and fell deep into it, unable to reach the ground. People nearby spotted the man in a distressed situation and immediately rushed to help. However, they all needed to join hands, literally, to continue the rescue.
Please, hurry!
They formed a human chain and approached the man from below. The man in distress held their hands and was able to climb out. He expressed gratitude to all the people who risked their lives to save him and hugged everybody. In the dark. When the night gets dark and you are lost in the endless sea, have nothing to eat, and get no water to drink, always remember that help is at a stone's throw. When this boat got lost, the patrol chopper came out of nowhere and started the rescue. The pilot positioned the chopper and one officer from it came down on the boat, hoisted the stranded crew members one by one, and smoothly rescued them. And when their minds started to wonder how they found him, they provided him with food and water. Their questions vanished after seeing the fresh food, and they were transported to their facility. Brave soldiers. It's not that famous scene of Miller's Planet from the Interstellar movie, but a real heroic rescue. A U.S. Navy SEAL was not functioning properly, and soldiers needed to be evacuated from the water. You know this for a fact, they don't leave things behind. For that, the Chinook chopper was called, landing on the water's surface and opening the giant trunk of the helicopter for the Navy boat to come in. The boat captain had all the weight on the race, and in no time entered into the chopper. He not only saved his soldiers' lives, but also the reputation and secrets of the country. Surely deserved a salute. Little girl rescued. A family camp vacation took a terrible turn when their 4-year-old girl disappeared from the tent. They searched the entire area but couldn't find her. The police were informed about this incident and got to work. As the hours turned into days, the parents' hope diminished. But the determination of the police remained steady. They continued their search, and with the help of geoforensic technology, they identified a house. The police found the missing girl safe and healthy in the suspected house, and on the spot, arrested the man. The parents were over the moon with relief, and the entire country praised the police department for their outstanding work. Lost child found. A 4-year-old boy went missing in the Woodlands. His parents searched, but were unfortunately unsuccessful. The police arrived and dispatched teams to different areas of the Woodland, but surprisingly, they were unable to find him too. The parents' stress levels escalated. Assessing the situation, a chopper was called in. Officers equipped with thermal lenses spotted the distressed child, hidden under the dense woods. The ground team reached the location and rescued the boy. Thankfully, he was found safe and healthy. The parents' stress and worries vanished upon seeing their son. Hiker trapped in Woodland. The rescue team on patrol received a call about a hiker in need of emergency evacuation in the dense woodland. The hiker had injured his leg and couldn't move an inch. Upon reaching the scene, the team spotted the hiker looking worried and desperate for help. A rescue officer jumped from the chopper and came to him. With careful precision, he hoisted the hiker and signaled the chopper to lift him. After a few swings in the air, he safely entered the chopper. Rescuers provided him with first aid and then transported him to a hospital, where he received better treatment. Night rescue. I think I speak for everyone when I say seeing a mountain at night is one of the most mesmerizing yet terrifying things. Now imagine the horror this woman faced when stuck high above the ground, with nothing but darkness ahead. She had no way out. Rescuers didn't wait for the sun to rise and arrived in the utter darkness. Although it was risky for them too. What's the point of training if you don't take risks? However, this brave officer buckled himself, fastened safety belts, and climbed the hill at night. Carefully approaching the lady, he put safety belts on her. Both came down safe and sound. Everyone down there was out of words to praise the brave lad. Old lady found.
Hold on to your water, okay? Hey, we're gonna try to carry you to the other side of the fence, okay?
It's not uncommon for people with dementia to lose their way, but this shows us how serious it can be. This woman who had dementia got lost in the woods and couldn't remember her way out. It had been hours since she was reported missing. Rescue teams were already dispatched and they were searching all the areas near her home.
Are you okay? Yes, ma'am, we are!
Finally, with the help of a search dog, rescuers found the stranded lady. They assured her that she wouldn't be lost again, as they knew the way out. They brought her home safely, and her family expressed heartfelt thanks to the rescuers.
Bye, Bobby! Oh, it's a good boy! That's a good boy!
Hero Dad. While skiing down Brundage Mountain in Idaho, this father lost sight of his son who fell right into the well of a large pine tree. He got trapped there and was unable to come out of it. Thankfully, the father was above on the slopes. He asked his son if he got hurt anywhere.
Heads up!
No, said the son. The father assured him of a safe rescue. He gave his son a hand, which he held, and with a little pull, he came out of it.
Where are my skis? My skis are up there.
Smiling above with his dad, both then continued their snowboarding. The passionate biker. Bikers in the barren desert were practicing for their upcoming race. One of them lost his balance and fell, injuring his leg. Although such incidents were common for them, this time it was worse and he couldn't stand up. His friends quickly called for rescue and help arrived. The rescuers checked his wound and assured him that it wasn't too deep. They told him he would be able to participate in the upcoming race, only if he came with them to the hospital. The biker agreed and went with the rescuers to their chopper. As it turned out, the officer was right. After receiving treatment, he was fit for his race. Magical icebox. Rescuers on regular patrol spotted two fishermen who were clinging to the icebox after their boat sank. They could be seen desperately looking for help, and rescuers wasted no time and began the rescue mission. A rescue officer with a cable attached to him descended into the strong water current. With utmost care and extraordinary skills, the officer hoisted them one by one and brought them out of their misery. They were shivering after being there for more than 15 hours. The rescue team transported them to the hospital where they received better care.
Both men were taken to a local hospital for medical treatment.
Stranded worker rescued. A worker was on a crane at the construction site more than 1,000 feet above the ground when he became stranded due to a problem with the crane. Despite the challenging situation, he remained calm and patiently waited for rescue. The rescue team arrived and the officer carefully came out from the chopper. He approached the stranded worker and hoisted him up. The worker hugged him tightly and both ascended to the chopper. The rescuers ensured his well-being before safely releasing him on the ground. Breathtaking rescue. Emergency was declared as a lot of water entered the town. Rescuers worked tirelessly day and night to evacuate people to safety. During their continuous patrols, a chopper spotted a stranded lady clinging to a tree. Balancing their chopper in the mid-sky, the brave officer came down with cables attached to rescue her. He assured her of a safe rescue and attached safety cables to her. Both were lifted by the chopper. Fortunately, the woman was neither injured nor sick. They safely transported her to the safety camps. Saved from frozen lake.
Come on, Chris, this is gonna break, bud.
Two fishermen and their dog were fishing on the frozen lake when their little adventure turned into misery. They fell into the icy water and were unable to make it to the shore. Fortunately, they were spotted by the police, who initiated a rescue mission immediately.
We have a deputy attempting to get out in the middle of the lake right now.
And didn't wait for the rescue team to arrive. The police had a rope with them, which they threw to the fishermen.
Okay.
The fishermen held on to it, and the police successfully pulled them to the shore. After coming out from the frozen water, they were taken to the hospital to prevent any drastic changes in their health.
Chris, this is gonna break, bud.
Oscar-deserving rescue. This man is selfless. He is a savior, a hero. 9 workers were in a gold mine when it started to collapse. They could have been stuck in there, God knows for how long, if they had not had this friend helping them. He was removing the sand and stones from the exit, making space for his friends to come out. He didn't care about himself, and as they say, fortune favors the brave. And in that case, it did. All 9 workers came out safely, took a sigh of relief, and thanked their friend for this second chance at life. One afternoon along the White River, a calm camping adventure took an unexpected turn for two individuals. When a gradual rise in water levels left them marooned on an island, surrounded by water on all four sides, these guys were fortunate to be rescued timely. Paddling through the strong water current, the East Pierce Fire and Rescue Team embarked on a rescue mission. They approached the stranded campers and brought them to shore, ensuring their safety. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.